My name is Shanon, and this is my Southland story. I've been a poultry farmer for 3 years. We're located in Comer, Georgia. I live here with my wife and 2 sons, and we have about 42 acres. Run some cattle and have 5 poultry houses. Yeah, it's always was a desire to own a farm, to be a farmer. So this was kind of fulfilling a dream that I had as a child. Well, both my grandfathers had farms. My grandfather Hayes, he had a Alice Chandler tractor dealership, and we always hung around with the tractors, and kind of where I learned how to run a tractor and a plow. I loved going and working on the farm with them, and just always wanted to do that. And it just never worked out. My wife and I, after we got married 27 years ago, we looked at a few farms thinking that might be the direction we wanted to go, and the timing wasn't right. And thought, well, you know, we had some cows, we had a little bit of a farm, and I felt the call to the ministry to be a pastor. And so I guess the reason we didn't buy one of those, didn't work out for one of those farms, is because of Lord had other plans at that time in mind. Knew that my time was up at the last church I was pastoring, and was driving down actually this country road that we're on right now, and drove by our farm and saw a sign and said, wow, you know, what about this? So I pulled in thinking that there's no way this could all work out. Just a few months later, I was a poultry farmer. It was wonderful to be able to drive onto this piece of property and drive to the back and see the 30-acre pasture back there and say, you know, that's ours. I invested my family farm that my grandfather gave me. I put that whole farm up for collateral for this. So I risked all of my inheritance, a farm my grandfather gave me, to be able to purchase this. And so I put it all up for it. And so it was a huge step of faith. Farming is almost an act of faith. You're just taking a chance on producing a good chicken. As far as poultry farm, we put those chickens out in that chicken house that they're going to grow and they're going to live and come out a good weight, and everything's going to work out good. Has my faith been tested as a farmer? Sure it has. Well, back in December 2014, I didn't know what was going on, but in about the 5th week of raising a flock out, the birds just started dying. I didn't know what it was, but it was just a large amount of birds, almost full-grown birds by the hundreds, and didn't have a clue. Nobody had diagnosed what the problem was at the time. So I went through that flock, got away from that flock, we evaluated, we said, well, let's grow another flock. So we grew another flock, and everything rocked on just fine. Then all of a sudden you hit that 5 week and had the exact same issues. So at that time, got some people involved, finally determined that we had dermatitis in the house. They said, well, let's raise one more flock, maybe it won't have a problem. Me being young, a young poultry farmer, not having a clue, never seen anything like this, I said, okay, we'll try it. Well, the same thing happened again. And I said, I can't make it if this happens again. In desperation, I said, I've got to do something. So got my integrator out here, got to supervise the managers out here, and we were looking, and finally decided, well, we need to clean out, treat the floors. One person standing there said, no, let's raise one more flock. And I said, there's no way. I can't raise one more flock in this house. We cannot financially make it. I can't mentally make it. Something's got to give here. I was at panic mode. I had come into panic mode. I had to do something. At that time, I had been in touch with Alan Reynolds, with Southland, and he was telling me of a product to treat the floor. So we cleaned out down to the dirt, and then we put Litter Life and treated the floors pretty heavily. The next flock, almost at 35 days, I found a few birds that looked like they might have something, but then the next morning I got up, everything was clear. And at that flock, my mortality rate at the end of the flock was right at 2% mortality rate. The 3 flocks that I had dermatitis, one flock was at 8%, one flock around 7%, one flock I know was at 10%. And these were all losing birds, big birds. After treating the floor with Litter Life, we went to 2%. So I went from almost 10% to 2% mortality rate after treating the floors and cleaning out the house. People have told me dermatitis is not only in the litter, but it's in the dirt. It affects the whole thing, and they said you can never really get that out of a house once it's had it. After using the Litter Life, 15 months, I have not had any reoccurrence of dermatitis. I believe the Litter Life product, helped. And Southland has been exceptional, getting the product to me when I need the product, and whatever the product is, whether it's a big old bird or whether it's Litter Life. I need it, I got it, and it's taken care of. And it's taking care of my birds and my farm. The guy I bought the farm off of told me, he said, there'll be days that you'll go, why did I ever look at a chicken farm? But then there'll be other days that you'll go out there and you'll go, wow, I wouldn't do anything different. And it has come true.